I learned most on this voyage was just how to treat people and how to talk to people. My name is Aidan Kile. I am from Buchanan, Michigan. I was born there, grew up there my whole life. I'm 21 years old, go to Michigan State University and study biosystems engineering. Today's Halloween. Woo! Happy Halloween. And I didn't have a costume, so I took my bed sheet off and made a toga.
Yeah.
I was definitely most excited just to meet new people. It's kind of hard to meet people from my hometown because I basically have known everyone my whole life. And it's just a small, rural community. So meeting all these different people from around the world has been very cool. I think that because that question was specifically asked about what I was excited for, at the beginning of the voyage, or before the voyage, I think that it kind of still is true, and that I was most excited to meet new people. And I think that that was the biggest takeaway that I got from this experience, actually, was just meeting all of these different people. And kind of gaining these experiences that I know that I never would have gotten back home if I didn't meet them. I mean, it was all exciting. It's really hard just to pinpoint one thing that, in hindsight, I don't know what I would have been most excited for if I was, if I knew exactly what was going to happen, because all of it was amazing. So. I definitely would like to be more worldly. I guess it sounds like I'm restating what Claude has been saying, but to be more of a global citizen, and kind of have a competence that goes along with traveling, and talking to people that aren't exactly like me. The only thing with that I think I would change is I feel like I'm kind of objectifying competence, if that makes sense. It's something that you gain or don't have. I really think that what I learned most on this voyage was just how to treat people and how to talk to people. And it's not necessarily me becoming more competent in speaking to people from a different country or of a different culture. I think I just all around kind of gained a new respect, or was able to talk to people from different cultures or from my own culture with a new respect. Yeah. That's a good question. I would say the biggest challenge has just been homesickness, probably, which is expected when you're gone for 4 months. Yeah, I honestly, though, haven't felt too much of homesickness either. I've been pretty content here. I mean, I'm definitely excited to go home, but I'm also excited to be here. So. I don't think it was homesickness, actually. Really the only time I felt homesick was in this last stretch, because I knew that I was going home soon, so it's kind of felt a little just like it's been dragging on almost, just because I know I'm going home in a week, so it's just slowly ripping the Band-Aid off. In terms of my biggest challenge, though, probably trying to balance um, like balance my time with everyone that I'm trying to spend time with. It was actually kind of difficult to do everything that I wanted to do and spend time with the people who I wanted to spend time with. And I think that sometimes I don't think anybody ever got mad at me, but I felt like I was like almost disconnecting from some people because I was trying to spend more time with other people, and I think I was spreading myself too thin. Yeah. I would say a lot of times going into the countries that we have gone into, people always talk about kind of how dangerous they are or how careful you have to be, especially with like countries like Morocco. It was just like constantly like, you have to be careful, don't talk to anyone, like, just have your experiences and like be safe basically. But I've kind of, at least from my experience, everyone that I have met has been like a genuinely good person. Now I know that that's not the same for everyone, and you do have to be careful, but I think it's just kind of over-glorified a bit in like Western view, if that makes sense. I think that actually has held true across all 9 ports. Like everyone I've met, not that they are a genuinely good person, but they've just been doing what they need to do to survive or to like make their means. Many of them were good people. Yeah, I feel like I should give a deeper answer to that, but I'm kind of just having trouble thinking.
That's okay.
So I'm gonna just stick with that.
Okay.
So again, like this is kind of tying back to like the first question too, but back at home, I struggled meeting new people. Like at my home school, Michigan State, is very big, and it's kind of hard to find like a community, if that makes sense. And so like coming here has kind of given me the skills, I feel like, to go out and talk to people, even if I'm not sure if like they'll like me or whatever. And so hopefully I can take that back and like meet people at Michigan State. That's the hope. Yeah, so I still agree with that. But I also think that, especially in like this last half of the voyage, I've learned the importance of being able to be alone, or just being alone in general. Because like being around this many people for this long really does take a toll on your social battery. And I think at that point I wasn't really aware of that yet. But I definitely gained these new skills, which I'm very excited to take home with me, but I also know that I need to like take time for myself and do things that make me happy. Yeah. I'd honestly say I'm a bit more mindful than I was at the beginning. Like, in the sense of, like, firstly in the sense of meeting so many new people and, like, kind of seeing different perspectives, has given me a bit of, like, mindfulness to know that, like, I have to sort of, not watch what I'm saying, but, like, I can understand how to make a conversation flow a bit more, I guess, with different people. I lost my train of... Oh, also, there's not a lot to do on the ship sometimes, and so I've been doing like yoga and working out, which has kind of given me like a nice state of mind, I think. Which at home, like, my classes were pretty hard, and so I was always doing homework or like eating basically was my whole life, and so that's not very like mentally good. And so I think that when I came here, I was like, not that I was in a bad mental spot, but I just wasn't as good as my potential allowed me to be, if that makes makes sense. And I still don't think I'm anywhere near where my potential would allow me to be, but I'm like kind of making my way there, if that makes sense. Well, so for one thing, I'm bald now. So that's a big change. I do agree with that statement that I made a few months ago too. I think that even like since that, I'm more mindful than I was back in October, and then I was even more mindful than that back in September, August. I think my approach for relationships has also kind of changed. Before, they kind of seemed like something that I had to like work to maintain and sort of like keep it where I want to keep it, which I think you need to put effort into relationships, of course, but a lot of the people that I've met here have shown me that that it doesn't need to be like a forced thing. It's something that just happens naturally, and you'll naturally want to put effort into relationships that you want to keep going. Yeah. Because I'm going back into that situation at home, where I'm going to be like on a big campus and stuff, just don't be afraid to go talk to people. Like don't let what you learned on this voyage just go away after you leave. If that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely good advice. I really have to make sure that I don't lose the lessons that I learned on this voyage, because that would suck. Yeah, I think that in terms of like making relationships and talking to people, this has been one of the most like important experiences of my life. As for a message to my future self, which I don't really know how long in the future I want to go with this, but really try and maintain the relationships that you made on this voyage. Because I know a lot of times you, as in me, will end up not putting enough effort into maintaining a relationship with somebody that you don't have like immediate contact with. So you should really do that. Because a lot of these people are very special.
Full attention, please.
Are we going to India?